cold open.
Welcome to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and I have my lovely, can't do without him co-host, my Cafe con Leche, officially Jorge. Hey, darling.
Hey, girl. Hey.
How are you?
I'm kind of looking like my avatar.
You certainly look like your avatar. How about me? Not quite? Okay. Listen, I was like, honey, I'm going to get it as close as I can. I can't wear so much. I'm just going to go with the natural style. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. But it was fun to make, for sure.
They are fun to make. And it was nice to be, like, distracted by something silly like that for, like, a hot second.
Right.
Then, like, go on. I have a question for you, Keisha.
What?
Ever since everything's kind of, like, opened up, and every state, every city, every county has their own rules. Have you noticed that sometimes, like, the people who don't want to wear a mask or something like that, sometimes they just come up all up right behind you and, like,
listen.
I'm like...
Listen, I had an encounter in the grocery store last week, and I almost... Okay. I mean, she was, like, right here. Do you know where the grits are? First of all, I don't have a tag on. Secondly, get out my face in my personal space, man.
Right?
Mm-mm.
I'm like, look. I don't care if you die. Just back up away from
me. Please. Back
away from me.
Listen, we have so much to talk about. Make sure you stay tuned. We're coming right back with your steamers right here on Mocha in the Morning.
Mocha in the Morning is sponsored by Bill Curry Ford.
All right, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend this Friday morning. We are back with my co-host, officially Jorge, and of course, I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and it's time for your steamers.
It's time for steamers. I got some for you today.
Talk to me, baby.
All right, well, cool. So check this out, and I know a lot of people are going to love this. So, the Biden campaign has just hired Karine Jean-Pierre as a senior advisor. And that's actually, to push, that black vote. So you can go to News One and read that story. Now, she was a huge power player in the Obama campaign. And that's where, she was on the come up. And so it's really awesome to see her now taking that lead position in the Biden campaign. What do you think?
Oh, I think that's great. Listen, because you already know the people on the other side are not for the business. So I'm so glad that Joe is doing what he got to do to make sure we, do what he can. It's up to us in the beginning. At the end of the day, it's up to us to vote. But yeah,
especially with now the story according to the Root, the RNC, they are dropping 20 million coins, and that's just like on a marketing campaign. So prevents, of course, people of color, especially black people, from voting. Again, suppressing the vote. And what I was reading is, what they would do? They actually hire, they have, volunteers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Show up at voting precincts. They think, might be some shady stuff going down. And if you're a suspicious person, then they pretty much harass you and try to intimidate you and whatever. I don't care what kind of words they're trying to use to make it sound like it's okay to do that, but that's what they're doing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is bananas.
Well, someone who should be eating more bananas and less of whatever else he's eating, according to Nancy Pelosi, she says that the morbidly obese president of the United States shouldn't take hydroxychloroquine.
So she's saying that he need to probably be taking some hydroxy. Cut.
Well, he needs to cut a lot of stuff out.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, she went on to say, and let me tell you, there is an art and a skill to reading and shading at the same time.
That's right, honey.
And think of you, or you can't do a cheap shot and be like, oh, no. It's an art and a skill.
Honey, you don't want to mess with Auntie Nancy or Auntie Maxine. Do you hear me?
Don't do it. They're
No.
nice. Anyways, and guess what? We have a brand new American Idol.
Ooh, yes.
Her name is Just Sam. And what's really like interesting about this American Idol is like this all happened during the pandemic, during quarantine.
Yeah.
And this, you know, everybody was like performing from home, and they, you know, everyone was pretty much like on their own. So I wonder how that's gonna like turn out later on in their career, because a lot of times you would think you depend like on the audience and all the production flair. But I mean, if you can win with just your talent and your webcam, girl.
Listen, congratulations to Just Sam. Whoop, whoop. Listen, that is amazing.
I can't wait to hear what her album's going to sound like.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right. Listen, we'll be right back with Piping Hot. Don't you go anywhere. We're Mocha in the Morning, coming right back at you.
Yes, and the Fun Foodie Mama will be back with us later to talk about all the fun things that you and your families can do on Memorial Day weekend.
Awesome. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yay!
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
All right, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, of course, and it is time for Piping Hot, which means you get to see the Mocha marvels, my ladies, all this melanin and beauty. All right, let me introduce you, Dr. Jen Dobson. What's going on, lady?
Good morning. I'm excited. I'm moving to Pennsylvania this weekend, so it should be fun, something different.
Well, then, we will revisit that in a second. Miss Kenya Woodard.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm ecstatic. Can't you tell?
Ooh. Miss Kia Shakur.
What's up? I'm feeling annoyed because this all day 24/7 parenting thing is for the birds.
Oh, gosh. Debbie, don't take offense. And Miss Shalette Davis.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels. I'm feeling festive because I am child-free.
Oh. Now, you know what?
That's not fair!
Hey, Shalette. All the child-free girls. Hey.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, that's all right. Listen, we have lots to talk about in Piping Hot, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Let's talk about the one that sits in the White House at the present time, Donald Trump. This man is taking hydrochloroquine despite not having any evidence that this stuff is actually helping him. And according to Nancy Pelosi, he needs to be taking some hydrocut. You know, she's throwing major shade. She's throwing major shade. I thought it was funny. Listen, what is going on? My cousins, my close friends who have lupus, take the same medication. And they are not happy that people are trying to dip into this stuff because they can't get their medicine. What is he thinking about? My goodness, Shalette, talk to me, please.
Well, I mean, there is rumor that he's an investor in the pharmaceutical company that makes this drug, but also he needs to take something because people are popping up in the White House testing positive for COVID, and I don't know if he will allow people to wear masks in the White House. I don't know if masks bring him down or anything, but yeah, I fully believe that he's taking it, and who knows what the fallout's going to be.
You really believe that? Really?
Yeah.
This is a guy that will say anything. So no, I don't think he's taking it. And what a terrible boss if he is, right? He's the only one that can have it, but everybody around him in the White House is sick. Come on. That's
yeah.
But I hope he is taking it. I mean, maybe he'll get sick. I don't know.
Oh my God!
Whatever.
I feel like a giant disclaimer needs to be placed right here on this lower third. Right. The views of one person do not represent the views of all of us. Please,
Maybe
maybe, maybe it would be a blessing in disguise. I mean, maybe that's God's will. I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't atheists just talk about God's will?
She did.
Okay, I'm just saying.
All right, listen.
Okay, let me bring this back really quick. So,
Yes,
we're
let me
making
reel
jokes,
this
but
back in. Let me reel this back in.
yeah.
Okay, outside of the medication, whether he's taking it for hype or not, or just saying it, what he is not doing is unveiling forever president, number 44, President Barack Obama's, the greatest, his portrait at the White House. Now that is some petty Pendergrass type of stuff. Like, what is that about? Kia, talk to us. What?
Yeah, it's petty. What the actual way things happened were that the Obamas were not going to go to the White House for the unveiling because that's a tradition. They weren't, going to go because of the COVID-19 thing, traveling and going to the White House where apparently everybody in the White House has it. So they're like, no, we're not going to go. But the president was still supposed to unveil the painting with no one there, just cameras and whatever people. And he's refusing to do so. Of course, he's making 1,000 excuses. And we just know he's one of the pettiest presidents. Scratch that. He's one of the pettiest people I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, remember when he had to do something on the USS John McCain and had the name of the ship covered up?
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Oh,
petty. Super petty.
That ego.
His ego can't handle it. I mean, he's obsessed with Obama. Like, he's obsessed with him and he just can't handle him in any way, shape, or form. Did y'all see the photographs of Obama and then Trump coming out of out of the back of the photo? They're saying that that's what the photo probably looks like. Trump hiding in the bushes. It was funny.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to all the photoshoppers in the world who are now going to be making this meme and everything. So yeah.
Absolutely. So, it's okay if he doesn't want to unveil the portrait. That's all right. It's okay.
He's a child.
Yeah.
He's a child.
He is. Yeah, this is very childish, but this is not the portrait that is hung in the National Gallery. I just wanted to make that distinction.
Okay.
There's another ceremony and a portrait that will be done later in the National Portrait Gallery. This isn't that.
Got it.
That's good to know. Now, I just wanted to kind of like bring home my point of immaturity. I just didn't want to yell, he's a child, and that's it. If Jimmy Carter could host Gerald Ford in the White House after that really contentious election. And I believe it was it during, I don't know if it was during like a political year or whatever, because it's typically done in the first term. But if Jimmy Carter can do that for Ford, and if George Bush can do that for Clinton after the Clinton scandal, then our president should have the sense of maturity to be a grown man and do it. And I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for you to do it alone in a room. You don't even have to acknowledge President Obama. So
everybody. I feel like this would be unifying. Does anybody else get that vibe? If he just unveiled it, said something cute and nice, we could get a little bit of unification to what's going on. So it's crazy.
Maybe, except that he doesn't stay on script. So I'm not sure exactly how unifying it would be, considering that he'd have words in front of him, but there's no guarantee he'd say them.
This is true.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. And speaking of Obama and Meghan McCain is being dragged. Okay.
Rightly so.
Rightly so. Because she says that Obama is to blame for ushering in Trump. What is she talking about, Kenya?
Nonsense. That's what she's talking about. Look, so Megan's trying to make it, she's trying to, I think what she's trying to say is that, ever since Obama's election way back in 2008, there's been this buildup of, tension amongst a certain group of folks who, just don't like him or for whatever reason. But what she is, unfortunately, what she lacked to provide was some context that says, hey, and that hate from when Obama was first elected is still continuing on now. She didn't add that, in there. And so now, of course, her words come off looking silly. And, honestly, I don't think Meghan McCain's the one that actually should be bringing up that conversation, to be honest with you. Maybe it's just me.
Kia?
Nah, I mean, she shouldn't be bringing up this conversation. But again, I know what she was trying to say. She's just not eloquent enough. She's not eloquent enough to do anything, especially be on TV giving facts about stuff. And
she's not the one to talk about these things, right?
She's not. And Kenya's exactly right. And I get what she's trying to say because technically it's true. Obama was very pro-brown people, pro-minority. That's great. And a lot of certain white people, my bad to all of our white viewers and listeners, felt disenfranchised. Like, well, what about us? We're so forgotten about. Like, everybody else is excelling and no one cares about us. So with Trump coming in, it's now saying, you white guys down there, you everyday blue collar, red hat wearing, gun toting, truck driving, flag carrying white people, I'm here for you. I support you. And they feel like they have a person. I'm sorry, Sheila, that was a lie. I'm sorry. That was a lie.
It was perfect.
That was great.
It was great. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, to that extent, I understand completely.
But she was wrong. She's wrong all the way around. She's wrong during this pandemic. She honestly is going to be messed up. I really think she disrespects the memory of her father every time she says something stupid like this.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, now let's move on to some other privilege. Okay. As my producer has put in here, Auntie Becky's house is gonna get a little empty. All right, we all remember the Varsity Blues scandal where these folks were paying folks or this person to get them into their kids into these universities. Now, they spent a lot of money, Dr. Jen. They spent a lot of money to make this happen, but now they got to pay the price. They got to pay in fines and jail time. Talk to me about this.
I mean, it's a slap in the face. I mean, if we do a comparison and we look at like Black families who went to jail just because they gave a different address because they wanted their children to have better opportunities, and they got, I mean, you would think that they stole from somebody. They just got run through the mud. And so for what's happening with Lori and whoever.
Massimo. Lori Loughlin and Massimo Bernoulli.
They're not getting enough. I mean, $150,000, so what? That's nothing. They would pay 3 times that amount at any point, and they're not actually going to end up going to jail anyway in the midst of all of this. So they'll probably get some little basic probation, blah, 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 and it'll be all over with. So I don't feel sorry for them because it's not fair that, you know, people that work really hard for their education don't get to be admitted because somebody paid for their kid to go to school. And it's been happening forever. And now I'm glad that they're doing something about it and saying, hey, the opportunities that should have gone to maybe Black and brown kids didn't because somebody paid their little bad behind kid who doesn't know 1 + 1 to go to the university.
Hey, Jen, I have a question for you real quick. Since you are really deep in education and money and everything, how does this affect the acceptance programs for these elite schools going forward? Do they change how they do this? Are they more scrutinizing? Now it's worse for brown kids and every kid? Like, how does it change now after this huge scandal?
So they should be more considerate of what, like, who's coming in. I mean, that's always been their job. Like, the colleges are supposed to be unbiased. We've seen back in like the 80s where a lot of schools were getting kickbacks and all kinds of illegal stuff. And since then, they were supposed to be much more stringent on who gets accepted into schools, how they decide that. So there should be checks and balances to make sure that something like this doesn't happen. Will we see it still happen in the Princetons and Yales of the world? Yes, we're going to still see that occur because it's all about money. But let's hope that they also make sure to include children who are academically, excelling to those universities as well. But we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Thank you so much on that. All right. So listen, speaking of, privilege and people just thinking they can just get away with doing whatever they want to do. Bachelorette star, which I don't watch it, but Hannah Brown has been getting slammed for using the N-word as she sang some lyrics on her Instagram Live. So, I mean, listen, she just got caught. She slipped up. She do it all the time. I'm sure anytime they get caught slipping up, they've done it a million times. So this notion that, oh my goodness, no. This is what you do on a regular basis, right, Shalette?
Right. And my whole thing is like, you know, little kids who aren't allowed to say bad words, they can sing some really ratchet songs and censor themselves, and they're children. And I'm sorry, if you are a person who has not lived the experience to have the unfortunate privilege, I would call it, to use the N-word, then you need to be conscious enough to know that and to not, it should not come out of your mouth. Now, I got to tell you, I'm going to be brief. I have had some very heated conversations with blonde-headed white young girls who feel, but you are not Drake. You have not lived this experience, and you should not say every word that comes out of Drake's mouth, including the N-word. That's what I got to say.
Kenya, how do you feel about that?
Well, there was some conversation on Twitter the other day about from a white faction of Twitter about how no one should say the N-word. No one, not even Black people. So, you know, it's kind of funny to me how, you know, a word that's supposed to be, you know, so terrible that, you know, for some folks, they feel that not only should, you know, the word not be uttered at all, but people who are trying to reclaim that word shouldn't have a right to it either. And I just think the whole thing is just absolutely hilarious. Hannah knew exactly what she was doing. She says it all the time. And she just, you know, slipped up. Oops.
True. Absolutely.
Let's be clear, dear white people, please stop saying the N-word when you hear these songs. Like, just skip over it. You know how to skip over this cuss word. Skip over the N-word too. Like,
stop trying to be the authority on what Black people should and should not say. Let's start there.
That part.
Everybody's fingers like, yes.
Yeah. Lord mercy. Ooh. All right. Now, of course, there's no show in this time without talking about COVID.
COVID crazy.
Some absolutely ridiculous things happening around the world dealing with COVID and trying to, you know, open back up. And I mean, people are getting shot. People are getting cursed out. People are even singing Disney songs. So let's talk. Look, there's a Waffle House cook, I believe, was shot for asking someone to wear a mask.
Yeah, he was. He was shot. And I know I shouldn't sound so callous, but this is the world we're in now, where apparently if you ask someone to put on a mask, even if they've come into there 3 times trying to order and you've told them the 2 other times you need to wear a mask, you might get shot on that 3rd time. And that's what happened. This man got shot on the 3rd time, and that's what it is these days. And I'm not trying to be callous, but that's really where we are in America. You can get shot for asking someone to put a mask on. Even if they just pull your shirt up, something, you getting shot.
I got darts thrown at me the other day for actually having a mask on, and someone who was not wearing a mask looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like, I don't get it.
This is the problem when you create a society of people that are privileged. Okay. America is the most spoiled, privileged country in the world. So God forbid we ask people to be a little safe around other people because of a pandemic that's killing people. Oh, that's just, now they're saying their freedom is being taken away. Like, what? This is the problem. I mean, really? Like, I mean, somebody equated it to slavery.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, really, do you think that this is what slaves went through? Just being told to wear a mask and we're like, no, we don't want to do it? Like, really? Look,
that's crazy. Now let's talk about Snoop Dogg, okay? Snoop been making headlines for all kinds of stuff these past 2 weeks. But this week, Gillette, he made headlines because he was relieving stress singing what?
Let it go, let it go.
I hate this song.
Now what it looked like, this is what it looked like. It looked like Snoop had, like, something had just happened in his house where, because you know he'd been in trouble in the media for cheating on his wife.
Again.
Right?
Again?
So, I mean, yeah, just in the last couple of weeks. So when he got in that car and he started playing that song, I don't know why, I could just see the stress on his face. I was like, he just went through something in that household and had to come out in his car to play a track. And I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I mean, the red table talk is done with this season, so he couldn't make another appearance on there.
Even better though, as a parent, and again, Keisha can attest to this, as a parent and as a wife, as a spouse, Nobody was meant to be around their family 24/7. It's not humanly possible. It's not okay. It is almost like being in a torture chamber sometimes because you're around them 24/7, and the car really is the only place you can go. Where you can close the door, look at your kid waving at you like, go back in the house, I'm having a me time in the car. Don't make me drive away and leave you standing here in this grass. Like, I almost drove away from Devon the other day. Like, no, I can't. I cannot with you right now.
Listen, my saving grace is my backyard. My son wakes up wanting to go outside and play with the dog and in his tree house and whatever. And he.
So you lock him outside?
Huh?
No, I'm just kidding.
What did you say?
I said, so you lock him outside.
No, I don't lock him outside. He can come in and out of the sliding door as much as he wants. He comes to get his juice. He comes in and does his homework. He takes breaks and naps and baths 2-3 times a day because he gets so dirty. So that is my saving grace, really, because my child loves to be outside. And I can take my computer and get out there and work just as long as he ain't, jumping off a tree or nothing. I'm good. So go ahead. However you relieve your stress is however you do it. Hopefully Snoop gonna be all right because apparently let me just not go there. Listen.
I was saying, when your stress is a sex tape.
Listen, girl.
You're probably been throwing bottles of wine at his head. Like, that's the stress. That's what, like, she's probably been in there like, oh, you back in here again? Oh, really? No, you need to go back outside. Like, she's probably in there losing her mind, probably.
But she shouldn't because she allows it. Okay, anyway, I did say it. So yeah, moving on to Black Entertainment. Okay, so this versus battle, these Wi-Fi issues, Nelly. What happened? What happened?
Who are you asking?
Anybody.
Who watched it? I watched half of it.
I watched some of it. He just wasn't
prepared.
Ready. He wasn't ready. Quite honestly, I wrote off the whole battle. Oh, so Ludacris, what's the guy? Nelly. I was like,
who asked for that?
Well,
but it wasn't until
it's a good battle. When you think about it, it's a good battle, but it was almost like taking a bazooka up against a squirt gun because Ludacris, people don't remember this, but Ludacris was, oh, I'm sorry, that was me. Ludacris used to be a radio personality. Remember he was in Atlanta, like hot, so he knows the whole being at home, DJ, keep it going. Nelly didn't know none of that. He didn't have a good Wi-Fi. He didn't have a good sound system, and he was drunk. Y'all who do these versus battles, y'all gotta stop drinking before these things because we all can tell that you're intoxicated. You're not hiding anything, and it makes you look ridiculous. So coming up is supposed to be Eminem and DMX going head-to-head against each other, but they're going to hire teams to help them so that it actually goes off without a hitch because we need to know these two old men, they don't know nothing about no dog on Instagram. Please.
Listen, DMX and Eminem? Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's a weird matchup.
He wanted to go against Jay-Z, but come on now.
Who did?
Eminem? Or DMX?
No, X.
DMX just sat it down somewhere.
No.
Listen, what about the 112 and Jagged Edge? Is that happening too?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's one that's supposed. I saw the news reporting that 112 and Jagged Edge is happening.
It's supposed to be, but they have not set a date on that. But if it does, I mean, I'm all for going back to 1997 to 2005 with my music. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Where the party at? That was the jam.
It was, honey. But listen, I mean, all the verses, they can do all the verses battles they want. Ain't nothing gonna top Erica and Jill. Nothing. Okay? We just here for the entertainment. We ain't really here because we're impressed with it. Okay, listen.
Much so.
Huh? Girl, that was all Kia.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. They was queening and sistering on that thing. That was healing going on with Jill and Erica about it. We needed that.
She is not here for it.
She is not. She's like, I don't want to hear all this conversation. Just play the music, damn it. Okay. Say, drink your tea, hit play. All right. Okay, and last but not least in our entertainment well, actually, there's a few more things. WWE star Chad Gaspard, which I don't follow WWE, so I'm not sure if it's not Titus O'Neil. Unfortunately, I don't know who they are.
Right.
Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen. So that is so sad. So there was a boating accident, and his body was found. So we are definitely sending condolences to his family, his friends, and the WWE family as well, who are mourning that loss. And then, okay, I don't watch P-Valley Stars. Okay, it looks mighty ratchet. Anybody?
I didn't even watch the trailer. I mean, the thing is about this, and it's another unfortunate privilege that strippers have right now. So stripper culture is very popular, and there are going to be tons of men and women that watch this show. Hopefully, it will show the stripper lifestyle in a true and gritty light. I think that's really what the show is going to be showing. I can't see how a producer is going to sell being a stripper as super glamorous and everybody should do it. But God knows what people are going to get out of it. It's coming to stars.
Because after I watched the movie with J-Lo, I was like, dang, I done messed up. I should have been like, if I was 20 years old, my whole career, like I was like, they was walking around in these nice minks and these nice houses. I said, man, my whole life is ruined.
Look, and I still got debt. Damn it.
I was just going to say, I realized I messed up when the girls in college were doing it to pay tuition, okay?
Kia, what? I see.
I have no comment about this. There's a specific reason why, because my mom watches this show. Hi, Mommy. I didn't do anything wrong. It's all of them.
Listen, nobody is saying we did anything. We ain't. Now, listen, I've taken pole dance classes. I will say this. I do have a respect for the stripper.
Them girls got talent.
Because that takes some talent. It takes strength and core. Because when I'm just going to, listen, I'm grown.
I will make this comment though really quick. A lot of these girls deal with a lot of crap behind the scenes.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, the crap they deal with behind the scenes is a little crazy. And there's actually some of them who have real jobs and they're trying to balance their real. So it can be a good story if it's done right. But you're right, Keisha. Like the athleticism they have.
Listen.
Jorge's laughing at me.
Listen, it's true. Because these women, when we took a bachelorette party, was part of the festivities of which we took pole dance classes now. And honey, when we finished, we went to a unisex, or one side was guys stripping and the other side was ladies. Honey, we went and took all our little dollars to the ladies. Because we was like, honey, y'all deserve this here for all this work y'all put, because I'm tired for a week, okay? I have a newfound respect for y'all. I ain't saying it's the only alternative, but if that's what you choose to do, that's your business. Do your
I'm just getting back, and I know I heard you guys talking about strippers. So I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in, because I think I'm the only one on this show that has ever worked at a strip club.
No, you're not.
Ooh. Ooh.
No, you're not.
Okay. Ooh. Well, so the thing is, like, it's not also just the athleticism. I mean, like, you know, because I used to be a house mom, so I used to have to get my girls together and teach them, like, how to, like, hide their bruises, where to hide their, like,
oh my God,
prescription medication and non-prescription, like, how to treat a man like a
somebody mute him.
Okay, do we need a Mocha in the Morning confession show?
No, we are wrapping
whole
up.
section.
I just want to know that.
Oh my gosh. Before we get into any more, okay, hey Mama Gainey, we're going to wrap this up. Thank y'all for coming and tuning into our segment, my Mocha Marbles. I love y'all so much. I love y'all.
Literally hot.
Good night.
Oh,
Bye. About to call Jorge.
Oh my gosh. We'll be right back with more Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. Stay tuned.
Your Mocha Minute is brought to you by blackinthebay.com, your online connection to everything that's Black in the Bay.
See, you caught me. You're not going to catch me slipping like last week with no makeup on during this promo. Just kidding. All right, so we have the Insecure Cafe review coming up, and we're so excited because there's everything to talk about and nothing to talk about. We follow Issa through the entire day, and we get to see her connect with her mom, played by the beautiful Wendy Raquel Robinson. So hard to say her name. And then we get to see the wonderful Kyla Pratt in this episode. We get to see how Issa's handling the entire fallout with Molly and ask the question, where do we go from here? So please, please, please tune in later today for the Insecure Cafe with all of your favorite correspondents. See you soon.
Hey guys, it's Kiva, the fun foodie mama. Now, if you're anything like me, you're ready to get out of the house. This Memorial Day weekend would be the perfect time to explore Tampa Bay, but still practice social distancing. So here are a couple things you can do with your friends or family and keep it safe, keep it cute. So who likes to go to Clearwater Beach? The ride over the bridge, the water, it's just perfect. The weather, if that's not your speed, you can still go to Clearwater, but check out their dolphin boat tours. If you want to stay local, you can go to Sweetfield Farms. They have beautiful sunflowers right now. You can take pictures, for the gram or whatever. And also you can go to any Florida state local park, take in nature, have a picnic, whatever you decide. And my family's favorite thing to do is go to downtown Tampa, visit Armature Works, they're back open, grab a bite to eat, and explore the Tampa Riverwalk. So let me know what you guys are gonna do this weekend. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend and hit me up on any of my social channels. I'd love to hear from you.
All right, everybody. Once again, we thank you so much for tuning in for this week's Mocha in the Morning, honey. Listen, Jorge.
The things you think on this show.
Honey, look, you learn something new about your friends every day, okay? I'm around here working with the ratchets. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I promise I'm just joking. I truly do have a respect. Listen, if you are not sharing our show, please do. Share all this flavor. You shouldn't keep it to yourself. Share with your friends, host a watch party, follow us on all of our channels, and we thank you so much for being a part of our Mocha Marvel family. Yes. And of course, we have one more before the season ends? One more.
Yeah. And for those of you who participated in our poll, that we put it in the Mocha in the Morning group, if you're not a member of that group, jump in that group because that's where we get Aussie and Office Village. Yes. And so it looks like 100% of our Mocha Marvels are not comfortable with sending their kids to daycare at this time. And 75% of our Mocha Marvels are not comfortable with hitting that gym just yet. So it's kind of like interesting to see what's going to be happening.
Absolutely. Cool beans. All right. Thank you all. We appreciate you. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you for adding flavor.
Yes, add a little flavor to your morning blend as we always do.
Girl, I used to make so much money. I would walk out with all these dollar bills that are
now I ain't gonna be dealing with no wet money.
I used to go to the bank and be like, oh, I'm not the stripper.
Goodbye. I'm so done with you.